Paul. Talk to me about what's going on, because I know there's a demonstration in London as well. What's your view on Sadiq Khan's plans?
Yeah, look, it should be scrapped immediately because we all want to breathe clean air. We want to make sure that we can reduce pollution, that we can give people alternatives. But the point is, we've got to give them alternatives. Where ULEZ has worked really well in the centre of London, it's just not going to have that same effect in outer London. The costs totally outweigh the benefits. Even the mayor's own report that he commissioned from a company called Jacobs in developing his plans said that the results would be negligible. What it's doing, it's going to put people out of business, it's going to affect charities, and it's going to affect the poorest in our society who just can't afford to replace their cars and have no other alternative. Sutton has I think it's the fourth or fifth, where I'm speaking now, my constituency, amount of cars driving in and out of work. Why is that? It's not because people necessarily want to do that. They have no other option.
Well, Jim, can I bring Jim Dale in here? He's a senior meteorologist at the British Weather Services. Jim, are you hearing what he's saying here? Because obviously there'll be a lot of problems. That people's businesses may well go under because they can't get people in. Of course, one of the biggest things with regard to living longer is actually wealth. The more money you have, you're more likely to live for longer. What do you think?
Well, I could change the word to health because I think that's what Sadiq Khan is trying to achieve, and not just Sadiq Khan, but this is progressing throughout Europe. It's not just a London-based scenario. And by the way, let's cast our minds back. Boris Johnson was the first person to introduce ULEZ into central London, and Sadiq Khan has picked up the baton and run with it and tried to make that, which is preventing pollution incidents across London, and it's the outer London areas, actually, they've got the more of the health problem rather than the inner. So that to expand it into these areas is the right thing to do, not the wrong thing to do.
Surely the outer London areas are suffering that because everyone's going around the edge now, so everyone's going there. Let's go to Alan Miller. He's the co-founder of Together, the association. Alan.
Yeah, thanks, Nana. Well, I think a few things. The first thing is that we're being told these things about air, and they're basically lies. We have to call them what they are. The only claim that Sadiq Khan now has got is because having bought the cameras in advance of the so-called consultation and having ignored over 65% of people in the so-called consultation, as well as 5,000 respondents who didn't think they were the right kind of respondents, he's now only falling back on this so-called 4,000 deaths a year, completely made up. We've done a report with Ben Pyle that's shown where the original reports come from that say you should not ever extrapolate deaths from this. And so what we're being presented with is a cash grab. It's an assault on workers and drivers and the public. And we talk about Europe, we know that Sadiq Khan is chair of C40 cities, where they have a very particular idea about how urban development should come around. And what we're saying it together is the public should be at the heart of things. It should be about our needs and our interests and our requirements. And if you want people to live longer, healthier lives, that's about decent housing. It's about income. Sadiq Khan knows this. TfL knows those numbers are absolutely they're misinformation, and they're repeating it, and so we're saying it together. People should get involved and challenge, and this should stop immediately. The ULEZ expansion, it's got to go.